People get up in the building, man. So we get this going a little bit. What's good, family? What's good? Sit back, get it together, man. Drink a little water. Get a quick little half an hour join in, man. That's what we're gonna do, man. I see you, Natty. What's going on? Peace. Carfrey Atmos, what's up? What's up, Roman? What it do? Kenan, what's up? What it do? Black African Power. See bullies, what's up? What it do? What's up, Cypher? Hey, man, you know, spend my whole life smiling, baby. You know what it is, man. Yeah, we just coming. Stay coming to our own, man. Appreciate the people joining. All right, the people pile up in the building. We start going live regular on this channel, man. You know, get a weekly thing going where I can kind of gather my thoughts, man, bring some teaching in and just, you know, bring that smooth in sometimes. Yeah, sometimes the noise all around you, man, is deafening. And you just gotta, you know, you gotta rock, man. So I'm gonna let the people come in the building a little bit, man. We'll pile up in there, man. We got 23,000 in there. Nah, not enough. Come on, man. Let people gather in a little bit and get this thing going. All right, got 33,000 in the building, but I see you. Boys, I see you, Sounds. Rebel the Sounds, what's good? Smack Rock Wells, man. What it do? Well, I seen y'all over there cutting up, man. Rob, Rich, what it do, what it do, what it do? Yeah, Yep. Seen everybody cutting up. Yes, indeed. You know, I wanted to join the panel, man, but there's certain people I just refuse to be around. Certain things I just can't do. It just ain't in me to do it. I would have fucked up the whole show. So I know, you know what I mean? I know how to stay in a safe space. It's a safe space for me, man. I don't get all outside myself. Anonymous, I see you. What's good? Lamar Pope, what's good? Pure Black, what it do? All right, let me see what my magic number gonna be. Let's at least get 35. Let's get 35,000 in the building, man. Before we get to rocking, man. Read a little something out this text right here. Right here. Starry Messenger, Cosmic Perspectives on Civilization, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Mhm. Yes, indeed. It's good, man. How y'all feeling today, man? All right. Man, I see y'all over there was getting it in on Saw Netter TV. Shout out to Saw Netter, man. Shout out, man. I ain't built like Saw Netter. Nope. Once a nigga talks so much shit, so much trash, then we done. Ain't no getting back. For what? So we're gonna be talking about history, African history, and the African American perspective. It's a lot of flagrant fouls going around. Whole bunch of buffoolery with a B, constant foolery. No attempt to even remotely deal with people, places, and things. The who, what, when, where, and why. All these things are important. We're talking about said subject matters. Geography is important. See, Smash with those arrows was talking about geography. Talking about where Nubia actually was, and they all deny where Nubia is. The borders are definitely inside of what they would call Egypt or Kemet, but they all act like it's not. Yeah. So, I like to say, wow. So when we study subject matter, man, we need to keep everything in its proper context. Context is very, very important. It just is. So we got 36, man. 36,000 in the building, man. All right. I'm gonna let people come in just a little bit more, man. We're just gonna get it in a little bit. Something easy, something soft style, man. Black African power, man. You know what I'm saying, man? I appreciate everybody coming in, man. Mysterious, I see you, man. So yeah, we wanna always keep the groove right, man. And it's just important, man. So we we do this thing at our house, man, called putting things in its proper context. And I see most people don't have that. I see you, James. What's good? Chronological James, man. What it do? A pep. What's up with you? What it do? Come on, a pep. Relax yourself, man. What? So yeah, man. Let me see where we at, man. We get this thing lit up, man. Get it litty in the building, man. Get it litty in the building, man. I just like to shout out all the supporters, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. Make sure y'all do that. I appreciate the support, man. We at 40,000, man. It's almost time to crank it up. We're gonna crank it up to 45,000. I made it up, though. Oh, hey, we. Son, that he took the bait, though. He took the bait. Don't take the bait, son. That he took the bait. Man, I can't believe, man. Who calls out the Magi? Kenan Wright, Mongo Slade. What it do? Oh man, I gotta get. Oh, where's the medicine? Let me get into the real black atheist joint real quick. What? Oh no, man. Let me get this right, man, so I can. Just want to get this in here, man, so I can. Trying to get to the real black atheist channel. Oh man, come on, man. I tell you, bro. Not good. Not good. Let me get back to the screen real quick, man. We're gonna get this thing hyped. Get it like we supposed to get it. Get it like we supposed to get it. Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good one. Promise you that. Get it cooking. Make sure y'all like, subscribe to Real Black Atheists on Fire. Y'all gotta do that, man. Y'all can't be bluffing, man. Y'all gotta go ahead and support that, man. All right. Yeah, y'all can't be bluffing, man. All right. So yeah, man, let's get right to the text, man. And y'all know what it is, man. Before we get started, man, we do it a little something like this, man. Black African power. What's good? What's happening? A well-organized lie defeats a disorganized truth every time. Woo-hoo-wee. Man, y'all already know what it is, man. Is God killer in the house. And I'm coming to do what I got to do. And I'm going to do what I got to do. I'm standing tall. I'm standing strong. Man, God killer in the house. Bobby banging this bitch, man. What's up, family? Y'all know what it is, man. Let's get right to it. Let's go right to Starry Messenger, man. Cosmic perspective, right, on civilization, man. It's the text, man. We flipping through this week, man. Read 1 or 2 chapters, man. Get yourself acclimated, right? Your boy throwing it down, man. All right, so in this chapter right here entitled, the chapter is entitled, hold on, it's chapter 8. It's entitled, hold on 1 second. Oh man, chapter. All right, here we go. Yeah, chapter 8, just like I said, color and race. Yeah, man, read that chapter, chapter 8, color and race, man. It starts on 137, right? And it's a good chapter. Okay. Okay, so on page 161, Neil deGrasse says this, right? And he's talking about Asia. Interesting, ain't it? It's always interesting. Says, how about very stupid and very smart people? Likely find them both in Africa too, right? Goes on to say, let's focus on the smartest now. Time to be reminded that Egypt and its towering civilization of engineering, architecture, and architecture predated Europe's by thousands of years. Last anybody checked, Egypt is in Africa. We tend to forget that. Amazing, right? The civilization was so advanced that denial amongst white people runs deep. Yeah, remember they took it out of Africa? Yeah, that was the whole fight. Including the storyline of Stargate in 1994 sci-fi film in which the Great Pyramids were conceived and designed not by Africans, right, but by gorilla-like hominoid aliens who subjugated the human Egyptians. Yeah, that's funny. Always denying Africa. Crazy. It says space entrepreneur Elon Musk, okay, an African himself, even tweeted as much on July 31st, 2020. Aliens built the pyramids, obvious. From the 15th century onward, Europe explorers, colonists, slave traders, and traveling anthropologists never went looking for people smarter than themselves in Africa. Although the continent was likely to have no shortage of them. So this sets the stage for the conversation. Neil deGrasse clearly recognized recognizes the Egyptians as African. And we think that that statement has been a statement that was easy to say. No, it has not been an easy statement to say. So if you taking Egypt out of Africa, well, I'll be damned, you're surely going to take the African people with it. Early Egyptology talked about the invading race theory like Breast did. Yeah, he actually talked about a whole group of people coming in and bringing forth civilization because people, they just couldn't fathom that the people they were enslaving to be as intelligent. How no way possible for that. So in academia, they wasn't saying that the Egyptians was African. And this is where we're going to start at. This is our placeholder in the conversation. Now, you may go back and forth with black, white, green, purple, orange, however you want to do it. But need to know, right, that those things are actually social constructs, no matter what they say. So when we're talking about anthropology, right, and let me see, where's my anthropology book at? They're not, when they're dealing with anthropology, they're not dealing with cultures and stuff in terms of being black and white. They're not doing that. That's not what it is. We're talking about ethnic identities. They identify with ethnicity of groups, and it is what it is. And so the new game is to act like African ain't African no more. It's crazy. Now, all of a sudden, African is not an African, but there's that type of African and this type of African. Man, they're just Africans. And when the statement is made, homegrown, indigenous Africans, like the Brooklyn Museum says, when you go there and you look at it, shout out to Brother Reggie, right? I took pictures of the actual museum talking about it. Now, what is a homegrown indigenous African? Now, we can get slick and get super smart and real shifty with our words, but it is what it is. Indigenous, homegrown. And they put the word homegrown in there so you won't play this game of allowing other people to come in and build a civilization. So when they speak of Egypt, they speak of it as a homegrown indigenous civilization. That's it. None of us was back there, right? And so we can guess what complexions they would have been based off of their geographical location in Northeast Africa. And it's important to say Northeast Africa because that's where it is. Basic geography, not just North Africa, but Northeast Africa. And there's different African nations that occupy Northeast Africa, like Ethiopia, Somalia. We can pull it up, right? So let's just keep this thing real simple, right? Let's stay away from the social construct that confuses everybody. Let's just call it what academia calls it. Simple Africans, right? And we can get technical, and we know that the greatest diversity of genes is found on the continent. That's where we at now, right? But we're not going to put that situation. Watch this: people, places, and things, time and space, right? Now we can get real detailed, okay, on a variety of Africans. But in those early moments, those early time periods, right? You was just trying to just get to just African. You couldn't even set it out your mouth without a fight. I remember coming into the community and I had to fight for the word African. Now all of a sudden the word African means nothing. Find that to be very interesting, Chef Anel. How is it that now African, Cosmic Corey, don't mean nothing? That's the first shot. Niggas be talking shit. Yes, so African Americans, for all y'all that don't know, have no way of knowing where we came from. We can get basic areas, right? Get this, that, but you don't know what tribe you come from. Interesting. Most humans on planet Earth don't know what tribe they come from. They can get clothes. We from Italy, Poland. Yeah, that's fine. But humans migrate so much. That's why all humans are 99% the same. Because there's been a constant back and forth migration. So let's stop all the nonsense. So when I say African and indigenous, I'm talking about on the continent. And as an African American, right, I can celebrate all of Africa. If you don't like it, shut the hell up. Now that we got that out the way, now that we understand the variety of Africans, Khoisan, the Moroccan African, the Northeast African, the Ethiopian African, the Nubian African, the West African, the Central African, they're all Africans. In the literature, they have African and non-African. What's the difference between an African and a non-African? A non-African, it's still African. Or how could that be? Science is counterintuitive. Once we slow the conversation down to a point where we're not around all the noise, we can get real clarity. Here's the clarity. African, non-African, but non-African is still African. So what they're talking about is when they call an African a non-African, they're talking about the mutations occurred outside of the boundaries of Africa. This is in the literature. So they never mean that non-African didn't come from the African population. They're not saying that. This is simply saying the mutations occurred outside of Africa. That's all they're saying. Because fundamentally speaking, all humans are African. And I use word fundamentally because I'm leaving room for mutations. This is how intelligent people understand it. They don't start throwing their own shit into the game. They don't do it. This is in the scientific literature, point blank. So when we're talking about Egyptians, we're not talking about non-Africans that are Africans. We're talking about homegrown indigenous Africans. And that does not mean that some reason, somehow, there was an electric barbed wire fence in ancient times that stopped people from migrating back and forth. It doesn't mean that. So we don't forget about the people that migrated or back migrated or however you want to. We don't forget about that because there's migrations all over the planet Earth. That's what makes us human, is our ability to continue to migrate back and forth. There is no non-mixed Africans anyway. That's just for the record. Let's get that straight away from all the damn noise. Goodness. And so when we talk about the environment and we're looking at it from an African American perspective, where we stand, how we see it, right? We have a damn good seat. Let me, fuck, man. Got books everywhere, man. Where is, you know, the book? Hold on, man. Goodness. Can't believe this. Okay, so, all right, my dude right here, right? So let me make this clear. And I ain't got to holler and scream it. I ain't got to fight it. I ain't got to do none of that, man. Fresh air around this bitch. Shout out to the 64,000 in the room. Fresh air, right? So when we pull up this work, right? And I'm not suggesting anybody read this work. What I say what this work means to me is it was a transitional work. It helped me transition from helped allow me to transition this to this. Okay? Yeah, Civilizations of Africa. All right, Chris Barrett. So we come into an environment where the conscious community, and for the first time, for those who the first time watching me, coming to the conscious community, they wasn't accepting evolution, and they looked at me like I was crazy. Man, go get my book, man, Chronology of Human Evolution. They looked at me as if I was a nut. What? That's the white man, this, that's the white man, that evolution, we don't come from monkeys. I got the whole thing. Got the whole thing, right? But it was this work, okay, that I had read that helped me transition. What is the foundation of this work here, ladies and gentlemen? Africa, the mother of Western civilization. Dr. Ben, what's the foundation? Evolution. Why? Why is the foundation of this man's work evolution? Because he was fighting in a time period, 1974, 1973, 1965, he was fighting in an environment that wasn't accepting, hold on, of this origin and evolution of the human race. They wasn't accepting that. Oh yeah, it was 1974. It was this, that, and the other. Yeah. Do you know how hard it is for things to change in science? Science does not lead itself for rapid change. New ideas are slow in changing in science. It certainly is. And if you think that new ideas are slow to change in science and in academia, right? Then it's even slower getting to the general public, getting to the governmental institutes, right? Schools. And if you think it's slow getting to governmental institutes and schools, institutions and schools, and the educated people, right? And then just the regular normal people who aren't highly educated, white people, right? Imagine how long it takes. Then let's talk about those who got carted off from Africa. How long does it take to spill over to a group of marginalized people that think they're the most spiritual? This whole treatise right here scares the hell out of not only humans, but scares the hell out of white people, but then scares the hell out of Black people to think they're the most spiritual. It seems to have killed their God and their religion when you start showing skulls and you start showing apes and monkeys and all that, and you put them in the same categories, in the same areas as human beings. It scares the hell out of them. Why does it scare the hell out of them? Oh, let me tell you. Evolution at the time was a groundbreaking idea to humanity. Oh, so y'all think for 350,000 years, people thought other than their tribal cosmic stories for where they came from? Let me say it a little more clear. I'm telling you for 350,000 years that Homo sapiens sapien swore by, believed in, continually thought they came from their creation stories, whether the creation story be in the damn Congo, whether the creation story be in Australia, the land down under, whether the creation story be in Mesoamerica, whether the creation story be in the Americas, whether the creation story be in Egypt, whether the creation story be in South Africa, whether it be in West Africa, whether it be in goddamn Kenya, whether it be in Asia, right, on Mount Olympus amongst the Greeks, right? Whatever the hell y'all thinking, I'm telling you that the same people that believed in monsters, you know what I'm saying, up into the 1800s, you know what I'm saying, believed in dragons, is the same people that thought that their creation story, the biblical narrative, are you kidding me? Do you know that the Christian, Jewish, Muslim world during those times really thought they came out of the Bible? Damn right, that's what it was. Y'all can't even conceive of that because we've had transitions. We had time to marinate. But imagine you thinking you came from Adam and Eve and a guy named Charles Darwin pop up and say, no. Nobody's listening at that point. Y'all can't even perceive how groundbreaking that shit was. And not to mention Charles Darwin himself didn't have any ancient human fossils because they hadn't found them yet. So what did he do? He made a scientific prediction. He predicted that in the future we would find extinct apes that were closely related to humans. It was a scientific prediction. So you got the scientific world looking at him like, then it's Africa, people, places, and things. Africa. So in the 1700s, 1600s, yeah, and when Napoleon Bonaparte go to Egypt and he brings for the first time the first scientific expedition to Egypt. Remember the Sphinx was covered in sand. So to their deathbed, those particular Frenchmen that went there actually thought the Sphinx only had a head. Started Egyptology, right? So let's ponder this situation for a minute now. You have enslaved Africans, see, I'm putting the people in a place, time. Enslaved Africans, right? 1700s, 1600s. They go to Egypt. They realize that, who the hell is these people? Damn, I thought we was slick. We ain't got shit on. Look at this shit. They ain't even perceiving that these people was Africans while they was literally standing in Africa. Man, I'm trying to tell you, it's wow. I'm gonna slow it down for you. They're standing in Africa saying that the people that built the civilizations wasn't African because of the social construct. How powerful was the social construct? I'll tell you how powerful the social construct was. It was powerful enough to make you think that one, that person is different because of the color of their skin. And two, they stupid because of the color of their skin. And three, they animals, half humans, because of the color of their skin. And they enslave people. So although race is a social construct, people got murdered and enslaved over it. It was real to the person getting hung on a goddamn tree, this social construct. So I ain't never not saying that the social construct was not real and continues to be real, but I'm saying it's not a scientific fact. That's what I'm saying. It has no space in biology. That's what I'm saying. Has no room in the discussion when we're talking about biological organisms. When we're talking anthropology, ladies and gentlemen, anthropology, studies of culture, right? You use archaeology, you use biology, right? You use all these tools to determine who, what, when, where, and why. And the social construct has no room for it. So when I be hearing the bullshit, I be like, wow. And see, everybody want to clump me together. So check this out. Bobby Banger, for the record, right, does not say that the Egyptians are Black people. Bobby Banger says that the Egyptians are homegrown Indigenous African people. West Africans are homegrown Indigenous African people. South Africans are homegrown indigenous people. And I don't mix it up. And I never thought that African Americans were Egyptians, like our immediate ancestors. I never thought that. What I figured was what they was Africans, because that was the argument. They was taken out of Africa and they wasn't admitting that they was African. Now we reading Dr. Ben's work about them being African, right? But you wasn't reading that back then, no matter what y'all wild niggas say, because y'all wild. Yeah. So no, they don't gotta look like me or some West Africa or some jet black person in the Congo. They sure do not to be indigenous and be African. Everybody knock it off. But then to think that people that travel and traverse rivers all the time, to think that people wasn't using this as a cultural highway and a cultural gene flow is malarkey, complete malarkey. But they just so people in Sudan, the first and second and third cataract, just stood there and watched as civilization went before them. Pin that right there. Let's get back to how groundbreaking the idea was that no, we didn't come from Adam and Eve, and no, we didn't come from Kulu, and no, we didn't come from Crenus and Romeus, and no, we didn't come from Zeus. Do you know how hard that shit was? And we sitting here thinking, right, that the shit was really readily acceptable. First of all, yo, it helped their money not to know the shit. Remember, the slave trade was based off of that. Right? Because the Europeans wanted to be cultured, and to be cultured is to be scientific. And scientifically, they had scientific racism that said that, you know, white people was better. Craniometrics, craniology, and all that, they used everything. They used pseudoscience. And yes, they taught it in Harvard and Yale. So now that we start to get the scope and the magnitude of this groundbreaking idea, how did Darwin come up with the groundbreaking idea? Gotta have a tool to be able to do that. And what's that tool? A damn boat, a ship that can go from continent to continent. Intercontinental travel has to be there, because you gotta go around, you gotta circumnavigate the globe, right? To see the different fauna, right? To see all of that, different plants, and you need to be able to see it in different areas, in different environments, to start to put together that, wow, there's a lot of variation going on. You gotta go to these different areas and see these different humans, right? You gotta talk to them, have conversations, be like, man, this, so you remember Darwin got in a real argument on the Beagle. He almost got put the hell off because he was saying, wait a minute, man. He said, these people right here, although, right, they don't have all the technology we have, he was like, man, they're just as intelligent as us. They looked at him and said, damn, they put him off the boat for that. The captain was like, yo, you got to go. Remember the mindset? Darwin was saying that no matter what color he was, right, that you could have the capacity to learn, right, what Europeans had learned. They just would needed the opportunity and would know the language to be able to do it. So he didn't see language as being a barrier or something. He's seeing language as a barrier, right? My fault. He's seeing language as a barrier that would stop you from communicating and teaching the indigenous person what you knew. But once they had broke the barrier, he quickly realized that they was just as sharp as anybody else. And it was misplacement of this nonsense that perpetuated the daggone social construct called race that said you was wild and stupid. But as he went around and met different indigenous people, he realized that ain't even true. White people looked at him like he was crazy. His family, right, looked at him like he was crazy because to them, they felt like he was usurping God. He couldn't even come out with his theory in his own house. He put the book on the shelf that he wrote about evolution. because he didn't want to disturb his wife and his friends, because he was at odds. And y'all saying, wow, why? He was at odds because he got it. And it shook his religion to the bone. We acting like before that point, humans didn't think they came from their tribal stories. They all did. Matter of fact, they still do it today. Right now, go ask your mother and father, right? They send the church heavy, what it gonna say, Adam and Eve. So if right now, today, in 2022, with all kind of phones, iPhones, right? iPhones, the big one, the little, people still think they come from Adam and Eve. Still think they come from the pages of the Quran, Old New Testament. You got the Black Hebrews, the Hebrew, they still think that right now. So you can imagine in 1876, when yo wrote the book, what people was thinking. Now we starting to get the scope of things. Now we're getting to see how important this guy was. He's one of the guys. Because his foundation was evolution, because once you get that humanity started in Africa amongst African people before they step off the continent, hell, Africa was so goddamn big, it took damn near 300,000 years for them to make their way off of Africa. That's how big Africa is, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, I said it. It took about 350,000 years for Africans to get off the goddamn continent of Africa. Bet you ain't knew that. Interesting, isn't it? When you ain't got a whole lot of noise. You can kind of see the picture come right in front of your face. So this is the environment that the Harlem history class, and the next show I do, I'm gonna get into the Harlem history class, John Jackson, Stromberg, and all them. We're gonna get into that so you can see what their mind was. But they're in an environment where white people's not accepting that the origin of humanity is Africa, and the damn Black community still think they're the most spiritual. They still think that today. You can go to any conscious channel and swear we the most spiritual right now to this day. Man. So, why would anybody call Dr. Ben pseudo? Because of a Wikipedia article? The Wikipedia article talks about his falsification of documentation, okay, not having degrees. But I'm just not the guy to be mad at a human being who lies to a group of people that's spraying his people down with water hoses. Yeah, they were spraying people down with what, in case y'all just forgot, like the whole civil rights movement was actually the spraying down of water hoses. Look, a fire hose. Yo, please look up the pressure of a fire hose that will push you down the street, ladies and gentlemen. You think I'm mad at a person lying on their resume? As if we acting like that opportunities to go to college was really available then? No, that's why they had the civil rights movement, and they had the civil rights movement to allow us to go to different colleges and universities where we wanted to go. Remember that? The Black universities at that time in schools were definitely subpar. So this is why there was a need, right, for high-skilled lawyers, Thurgood Marshall and the boys, legal team, to push for these civil rights. The first civil rights happened, I think it was 1895, right? To 1940, from 1940 to 1969, you know what I'm saying? So it was actually two civil rights movements, right? And so if you think I'm mad at a Black man during those times who watched people get hung the whole 9 yards, you think I'm worried about this man lying on the damn resume? Y'all got me fucked up. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping. And of course, there were people during that time that didn't lie on their resume and went to college and got educated. Of course it was. But they were the outliers. That wasn't the majority, because if it was a majority, it wouldn't have been no need to even have the civil rights movement. Y'all know they had the signs. Now, I know y'all ain't from that mob. Right? I was born in 1968. And what I heard was there was a sign marked white people, social construct, black people, social construct, on water fountains. We probably got to show y'all a picture of that. Y'all don't even get that. This is the environment, right? This is the climate. This is the mindset that this work was produced. How you gonna be a pseudo? Read his Wikipedia page, right? Right? Matter of fact, read the pseudo page, the Wikipedia page actually gets on him for the mistakes he made, right? But it never talks about what he did. What did he do? That's my job, right? That's my job. What did he do? He laid the foundation for you to understand this evolution, right? At that, look, listen, watch this, y'all. 2007, 6 came into the college community. They was calling me a nut. Monkey man. Y'all can go back and Google, they got my picture with a monkey. I'm a monkey. This is 2008, this is 2010, 11, 12. They did that, right? So imagine what they was doing to John Jackson and them. So what these guys was doing, John Jackson and them, they was actually giving you what the science of that day was saying. And remember I said how hard it was for ideas to even push through science. So there's always been debate on that, right? And so how do we know? And even if you don't read the work, right? Because the work is dated. Now, how do we know the work is dated and outdated, right? So I wouldn't recommend this book, okay? I just wouldn't, right? I would recommend like more up-to-date literature on evolution. There's plenty of it available, right? I'll go to my library and show you some things, right? But this is like a fun read to see what the dudes back in the day was talking about and how groundbreaking they was at the time. I already told you the shit was groundbreaking in 2009, 2008 when I came into the damn college community. It was fucking ground. Niggas looked at me like I was stupid. So you can imagine what they looked at him all the way back there. The man wrote the book 49 years ago, man. So what do you think? How about this? Do you think Europeans who wouldn't even give you your civil rights was accepting of a scientific fact called evolution that made the very people that they wouldn't allow to go to a white bathroom the origin of humanity? Y'all crazy as hell if y'all think them white people was on that. Y'all tripping. So is this man pseudo? That's how you tell. All you do is you don't have to read the book. Not even ask you, just go to the bibliography. The bibliography tells you what material said person was using. The bibliography keys you in to what the person was reading. They call it literature review. So what was he reviewing? Let's see. This is how we do this. Selected bibliography. Adam Walker, Book of Masters of Hidden Places, London. Search Publishing. Listen to the date, 1933. Aristotle, Ethics, Politics, Book 1. Anthony Hawkins, The History of Sudan, from the earliest times, 1821, London, 1955. Source Book of Ancient Philosophy, New York, 1907. Europe in the Middle Ages, Boston, DC, Health Company, 1932. Ruined Cities, Marshlands, London, 1892. 1892. Esoteric Christianity or the Lesser Mysteries, New York, 1902. University of Chicago Press, Persian Conquest, volumes 1 through 5, Chicago, 1906, 1907. Travels in Africa and Egypt and Syria, London, Siddell, W. Davis, 1806. The Book of the Dead, the Papyrus of Ankh, British Museum, London, Museum, 1895. The History of Egypt from the end of the Neolithic period to the death of Cleopatra, Volume 7, 30 BC, Volume 1 through 8, London, 1902. Egypt, Sudan, Its History and Monuments, Volume 1 through 2, London, 1907. I just started highlighting stuff now. Albert Churchwood, Freemasonry, New York, published, Masonic, 1915. The Origin and Evolution of Freemasonry, connected with the origin and evolution of the human race, G. Allen, 1920. The Signs and Symbols of Premortal Man, New York, Dalton Company. Origin and Evolution of Human Race, 1921, 1910, 1924. This is all Albert Churchwood's work. And you know, I got it. And so let me see, I just showed that to y'all, right? And you know, this was written in 1910, y'all. There's a theme going on here. Let me skip to this. Charles Darwin, Origin of the Species, New York, 1904. The Next Million Years, London, Hart Davis, 1952. The Lost Cities of Africa, Boston, Press, 1959. Let's move over to here. The Golden Broth, The Study of Magic and Religion, volumes 1 through 13, 1911 to 1936. The Voice of Africa, volumes 1 through 2, London Company, 1913. The Legacy of Egypt, Oxford, Clarendon Press, 1942. The Planet of Christianity in Africa, 4 volumes, 1 through 4, 1948, 1958. Oh man, Higgins, William Higgins, and John G. Jackson, An Introduction to African Civilization, with the main currents of Ethiopian history, 1969. Great Books of the Western World, volumes 1 through 54, Chicago Press, Encyclopedia Britannica, 1955. John Jackson, Introduction to African Civilization, New York, 1970. The Outline of New African Culture, 1961. Mutu. Stolen Legacy. Philosophical Library, 1954. The Nile Quest, a record of exploration of the Nile and the Basin, New York. Strokes, 1903. The History and Colonization of Africa by Alan Races, Cambridge, England, 1899. Africa Before White Man, right? Harry Lindbert, Africa Before White Man, New York, Walker, 1963. The Moors in Spain by Stanley Poole, 1887. I'm gonna read this last one. Stone Age Races of Kenya, London, Oxford University Press, 1935. And Black Jews in Ethiopia is Wolf Lesu, Falasha, Anthology, Black Jews in Ethiopia, New York, Stokes book, 1969, read the last one. Ancient Egypt, The Light of the World, Volume 1, 2, 3, Gerald Massey. Then you got the Book of Beginnings, Gerald Massey. You got the name Negro and the origin of evil and evil use. What's my damn point here? If you using this as the foremost work in the study of African history and evolution, you're a blackologist. And you're a pseudo. Because this sources is outdated now. Just because the source is outdated doesn't mean it's wrong. Right? Some sources, some work still holds true. But in most cases, when you have this much outdated information, right, then you should never continue to push it. And this is what I meant when I called people blackologist. See, I don't need to be around the noise. I don't know what the hell this new shit that he made up, but I popularized the goddamn word, blackologist, right? Like I said that. Right? What I meant was you're continuing to promote information that has been verified and proven to have changed, and you do it regardless. So you're a blackologist. You can't call Dr. Ben a blackologist, though. He was promoting the information of the day that was in the discussion, that was in the argument. Cambridge Press, Harvard, he used all that in his work. So anybody calling him pseudo is fucking pseudo, and they can't get past it. They're going to talk you to death, but they'll never show you. They'll pull up some random video of Doc saying something, all that. Okay. Man, stop lecturing around 1990. Damn it, 30 years ago. Like, we're not going to keep doing that. Like it's crazy to me. But what he did do, he left work for us. So history don't look at him as being no guy. White people look at him as somebody that talked about some pseudo history, and then the shit they tell you about, you can clearly say the nigga made a mistake, right? They do that, but you don't see them critiquing the people in this book like that, though. So then why should we? So no, right? This is a fun read for all those who want to see the climate was in the 70s, in the 40s, and the 50s. What was they talking about? This is why you would read this. But what he taught us is that the foundation, when you talk about African history, is you gotta start with evolution, the origin of humanity, and you work your way through. We act like the nigga had DNA. You act like the nigga wasn't under the social construct. We acting all that dumbass shit. Crazy as hell to me, man. It's people, places, and things, man. Who, what, when, where, and why, man. This is how that's done. Anything else is uncivilized, man. Uncivilized to me. So yeah, right now you can go to Alabama and they still got what in Alabama? Man, listen, man, let me do this. I might open the lines, take some calls real quick, man. This is what you get. Let's do this. It's fun for me, man. I enjoy these moments, man. I get a chance to teach, man. Really enjoy these moments here. Get my document folder. What I want to pull up. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's throw this at y'all real quick. That's what I want to do. I'm gonna throw this at you real quick. Just gonna get y'all. Since y'all think the evolution shit is settled, it would seem to be, wouldn't it? You would think that the civilized world, right? Oh man. 1 second. Okay. Oh, and wow. Hey, we're gonna hit him with this. We're gonna hit it with this. All right, let me pull this up, man. Man, how y'all doing, man? Make sure y'all support the store, man. Abjuware, man. Shout out to Juju, man. He definitely supported the store. Appreciate that. The items are on the way too. Appreciate you. Let me good looking out, sis. Let me see. Let me pull this up for y'all. Oh man, goddamn. Come on, man. why did I sign out like that and do that to myself, yo? Why? Why? Hmm. Man. This is crazy, man. Let me see. You know, I cannot believe this right now. Let me see. God damn it. Let me see if that's it. Oh, man. Yeah, how y'all feeling out there, though, man? I hope y'all enjoying what y'all hearing, man. Yeah, because we just trying to just give y'all some real good context right here, man. We got 84,000 in the building, man. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's right, James, man. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm not chiming to that guy, man. Of course not. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't chime into that. Why would I? I can do my own thing. Come on, man. Absolutely. Mongo Slade. All right, here y'all go, man. Let me put this right here for you real quick. This is funny. All right, so this is what I want to say. This is the magnitude for y'all. So y'all can see what the magnitude is, man. Can I show you? Okay, so when you come here, it says Alabama. Look, I'm gonna share my screen. Modern times. Watch this. Look. This is a good one. Alabama. This is March 2016. Alabama retains its evolutionary disclaimer. At the March 10th, 2016 meeting, Alabama State Board of Education voted to retain disclaimers about evolution mandate for the state's textbook. So they put these stickers in the textbook, disclaimer about evolution. Still to this day, look it up, right? It says, even though the new Alabama science standards describe evolution as substituted with much direct and indirect evidence, substantiated with much direct and indirect evidence, the vote of accompanied the board's approval of the state textbooks committee recommendations for the adoption of science textbooks. Videos of the vote is available online here. So here, man, take this, right? Put this in y'all Real Black Atheist folder, right? It said the first Alabama disclaimer, which describes evolution as controversial theory, some scientists present. It said was mandated by Alabama State Board of Education in 1996. It was replaced in 2001 by a second disclaimer, which describes the theory of evolution by natural selection as controversial. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not controversial at all. Okay? But why is it still in textbooks? If y'all thought that evolution just ran through and everybody accept, no. We talking about 2022, they still got the damn disclaimers in there. Let's say they changed in 2022. Why in 2016 would they still have that? So now you see just how far that these Black scholars was. Whether they got everything right or not is not the point. The point is they pointed us in the right damn direction, ladies and gentlemen, because you only know what you know and you only have access to what you have access to. Don't you ever in your life put Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark and them in the same category with you because you rocking with handheld computers. They ain't had that. They had to drive to the damn museum, man. And I think it's been understated, man. I mean, the way we think that is an anachronism, man. We put ourselves with our functioning faculties with computers and all that, and we plop our ass right down in the 60s and the 70s and start talking shit. Well, I would never lie on my resume. Well, nigga, you ain't never had to lie on your resume. You ain't never had to duck a water hose, a daggone fire hose. You ain't never had to gotta go to the bathroom and walk all the way down there to the black bathroom. You ain't never had to drink some water from a small ass dirty water fountain and the shiny white water fountain right there. You ain't never had to do it. You wouldn't know. So then why would you, why? And imagine teaching a subject that still can't get past Alabama. Matter of fact, the next show, I'm gonna show you all the states and what they talk and what they say. Since y'all think that we so modernized, nah, man, it's still in the minds of people. Why? Because for 350,000 years, all human beings living on planet Earth thought they came from their creation story. And can't nobody show nothing different. At the meeting, Stephen Bell, board member who helped to write the first disclaimer, praised the disclaimer as very positive addition that fits perfectly with the course study in it. NCSE Executive Director Reed was anything. Executive Director Ann Reed was anything but enthusiastic. However, commenting about voting to retain the disclaimer, the Alabama Board of Education continued to send scientifically unwarranted and pedagogically irresponsible message to Alabama's teachers and students who deserve better. Yeah, crazy. I mean, it's complete foolery at this point. Goes on to say the theory of evolution by natural selection is a controversial theory that is included in this textbook. It is controversial because it states that natural selection provides a basis for modern scientific explanation of diversity of living things. Man, but that's exactly what it do. Why is that controversial? Right, because they still want to come from their creation story. Since natural selection has been observed to play a role in influencing small change in population, it is assumed that it produces large changes, even though this has not been directly observed. That's not true. They observed it in Charles Darwin's finches. They observed it and what's the name of the daggone? Oh man, is it grasshoppers? Lizards. They actually observed rapid evolution in lizards. Okay, because of its importance and implications, students should understand the nature of evolutionary theories. They should learn to make distinctions between the multiple meanings of evolution. I didn't know it was multiple meanings of evolution. To distinguish between observation and assumptions used to draw conclusions. They ain't making no damn assumptions, right? And to wrestle with the unanswered questions and unresolved problems still faced by evolutionary theory. That's the same thing that Asahotep and them do. Right here, y'all. Unresolved problems, no. Unanswered questions and unresolved problems still faced by Afroasiatic. You know, I did it in there, right? They exploit that the same way that the Alabama school board exploits this. Now y'all get it. Just because there are things that we don't know, don't mean we don't know enough to know what it is. And that is the trick that the Alabama school board played, and that's the trick that Asar and Wuja continues to play with you. Because there's holes in certain things, then it's wrong altogether. That's not how science works. Anyway, I find it very, very interesting. So yeah, let me see. I'll put this link out. 83,000 building, man. Appreciate y'all in there, man. Let me see what I'm doing. Make sure y'all join the Discord, man. Yeah, make sure y'all do that. Hold on. Interesting. All right. See if y'all got any questions, man. Let me see if I can get that. Let me see. That. Question. What the hell? Oh man. Oh. I do it like this. Hold on. Get y'all the link, man. Get y'all the link. Get y'all the link. I want to do. I'm gonna get y'all the link. All right. Link in there, man. See if y'all got any questions, man. Yeah. Hold on. All right. We'll drop this link. All right, man, yeah. Hold on. All right, yeah. All right, drop the link in there, man. I'm gonna pin it up here, man. See if y'all got any questions, man. Anything to add to the discourse, man. Come on through. Right? Here's your chance. All right. Come on through. Yeah, I know I show up an email on screen, so what? I don't got nothing that ain't supposed to be in there. Yeah, I don't got nothing that ain't supposed to have in there. That's for damn sure. But thanks, though. Appreciate that, though. Appreciate that. Good looking out. Good looking out. Definitely appreciate that. All right. So yeah, man, come on through. Y'all got some questions, man. Hit that button. Y'all want to add something to the discourse, man. Yeah, just don't come in here with all that hooping and hollering, man. Be calm and collected, man. We have a nice discussion on anything I said. All right. Definitely don't have a problem with that, man. I think it's important to have the public discourse, disagreement. I think it's essential. Yeah, what's up, man? James Moby, man. You know it. Baltimore, stand up, man. Maryland, stand up, man. Absolutely, man. Stand up, man. I want y'all to support the channel, man. ABD. Yep, for 10. Oh, man. ABD. That's crazy. Put the link in there, man. Make sure y'all support this, man. Support the store, man. Hey, man, if y'all in the area, man, make sure y'all go to the Black Dot Bookstore and Cultural Center, man. We in there, man. All right. Make sure you support that. All right. Any questions? Let's see, man. Make sure y'all support the Discord, man. Go ahead and sign up for that. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Pseudo Killer channel, man. Somebody click that button, man. If y'all ain't got no questions, man, we'll wind it down. But I do want y'all to come through the hoodies, man. Summertime. Definitely summertime. I mean, my fault. Wintertime coming through. No pseudo joints, man. Make sure y'all support that. Make sure y'all support that there. Yeah, got no pseudo hoodies, man, right here at you, man. All right. Make sure y'all support this, man. Definitely appreciating that. What y'all do. Yeah. What's going on, Mr. Rich, man? What you got for us? You got a question, man? What's on your mind?
Hey, man, that was beautiful, man. You know what I'm saying, when you talk about the early, you know what I'm saying, Egyptology. And, you know, for them to call Dr. Ben Pseudo, man, you know they new to this shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They just getting into this information and knowledge. You know, so they're really new to this shit. They don't understand the importance of, like you say, the Harlem what would you say, the Harlem what?
Harlem history class.
Yeah, the Harlem history class, Black studies in general, you feel me?
Yeah.
So that was important to combat what was said. So I don't understand why these, you know what I'm saying, ninjas can't, you know what I'm saying, understand that. You know what I mean? They trying to dirty up Dr. Ben's memory, man. You know, he did more good than bad. He made, you know what I'm saying, he got more truth than wrong out of that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not mad at somebody messing up. Like, all the sources he used was messing up. Come on, man.
But he was groundbreaking back then.
Groundbreaking back then, but coming with the, and it wasn't, remember, Dr. Ben didn't make up none of that, yo. He used the sources. That wasn't his ideas. That's the point. That was my point. Right? He was taking advantage of the libraries and all that stuff around that he could take advantage of, man. So, you know, I already know.
Yeah.
I ain't, you know what I mean? Motherfucker ain't gonna be the big look. Most people talking shit about Dr. Ben, yo, ain't gonna never, ever, you know what I'm saying, be able to reach the level he reached, regardless. Think about it, he was a novice, yo. Think about this man taught the major university for 12 years, yo. So even if you lie on your damn resume, yo, you gotta be able to back that up, don't you?
Hey, he's showing it. He's showing it through the works.
Yeah,
you know,
so
I don't know.
You know, I think it's funny to me. It should be funny to me. I'm like, oh, it's funny.
They new to this shit, bro. For real.
Yeah. I mean, but you know, the new always come in. I ain't hating on the new.
Nah, but they spreading, so they dirtying up the memory, man. That, you know, like Black studies was very important, like you said, anthropology. Very important, man.
They brought that to us, though. That's the point, though. They put us in a position to even want to fuck with it. Right? To the point where Dr. Ben book was so far out there that you got elders right now, yo. Right now, just talking Dr. Ben, right? But don't even fuck with evolution. I'm gonna play that clip for y'all. Not tonight. I'm gonna play that clip, man. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting though, bro. But it's all good, man.
And homegrown indigenous African, man, that's sweet. You know what I mean? As far as how you lay that out.
Right, that's what it is. I can bring up a source to say it. You know, homegrown business. All right, we don't gotta get into the E1, B1, A1, we don't gotta do none of that.
Right.
Why do that? What? What does that mean? that doesn't. Right. That's not the. Come on, man.
So that shit just knocked that out the box.
I mean, right. You don't see the experts running around here saying you don't walk around with a holy group on top of your head, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't doing that. That's crazy. Yeah, I could read. One day I'm gonna do a whole thing on DNA. Yeah. Enjoy it. Enjoy the conversation. Yeah, human beings aren't running around with the whole group on the top of their head, yo. They don't know it. You know what I'm saying? They don't know it. They definitely don't. But everything good with you though?
Hey man, everything good, man. Hey, keep rocking, Bobby Banger, yo. Keep rocking that shit, bro.
Yeah.
For real.
Oh yeah, I'm on it, yo. I'm on it. Yep. Definitely on it. On supposed to be. What's going on, Chef Chanel? Yeah, make sure y'all get these hoodies in the store, man. So y'all get the merch. Where the rest of the hoodies at, man? Yeah, in there, man. Can't hear you, bro. Damn, those hoodies. It's starting to get cold too up out here. All right. Cold in the burn. Yeah, man, make sure y'all support, man, the Avenue store, man. Get your hoodies, man. Let's see who came up in the room, man. Let's see what we got here, man. Cream, what's good? What's on your mind?
Yo, what's going on, bro?
What it do? How you feeling, man?
A lot of people don't understand, like you say, this is building on the climate of the time.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that in not only from preschool all the way up to your highest level PhDs, the knowledge of the time stated that there never was a Black civilization that ever existed. See, back then, and this is where like the Asiatic Black man come from, because they thought the original civilization was Sumer. Originally, they didn't even give Egypt that props of being the oldest civilization. They wanted to keep it in the Eurasian and in the Middle East because that kind of supported the biblical narrative of the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve and all of that. So where Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and all of them came in, they came in to combat what was the orthodoxy at the time, which was that no Black Africans ever had a civilization. Now, when they started, you know what I mean? When they started building on it, the other thing was the separation of Egypt from Africa. And people don't realize that that's the source of a lot of this fight, because I'm from Philly. You go to the Penn Museum right now, Egypt isn't even in the African section of the museum. It's grouped in with the Middle East. So we have to kind of give those brothers their respect, because they were on the forefront. They were on the front line. They were battling against the whole, what we call the they, that omnipresent they that we always talk about. They was fighting against the they. And like you said, they didn't have the technology. It wasn't no internet. It wasn't no quick access to information. They had to go to the museums. They had to go to the libraries. They had to go to the colleges. They had to go to these places and not get ebooks and all of that. They had to read actual volumes and go through all of this stuff, because I think you might have made the point on Pseudo Killers where they weren't the ones going over in Africa and digging up bones. They weren't archaeologists.
No, not
They
at all.
were doing this from the information that was available at the time.
Right.
So, and because if you notice, all of them was sourced up. Now, they might not have had the most reliable sources, but they were dealing with what they had. So, and I definitely don't fault them, but one thing I can acknowledge is that some of the followers, they kind of took it too far.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know what I mean? That's so it's like we confuse.
That's the bullshit.
We have a tendency to lump in the I'm gonna call them, using the rap vernacular, the Dr. Ben stands.
Yeah.
We equate them with Dr. Ben.
Yeah,
and we got to realize that a lot of times they was misrepresenting what Dr. Clark and Dr. Ben and all of those guys was teaching, and they just took it to another level that it wasn't meant to be taken. Now, where I like y'all, I love y'all guys, because I came across y'all on SciNetta. So I'm with this, you know, I'm a Ride Squad, y'all my guys, Pseudo Killers, even the other guys that left, even, you know what I mean, Asar and all of them guys.
Cool.
They're my guys.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
They're my guys.
Yeah, they got put out. They got put out.
Yeah, well, whatever. I don't want to get into the internal.
I know y'all fuck. I'll drag you into it. You're my fault.
Yeah, that's scientific literacy thing.
Yeah, that's real.
That you know what I mean? The anti-religion thing, to stop being spooked out. Because you know, I guess you could tell by my name, I came up as a 5%er.
Right.
Even amongst the guys in the earths, I was like the rebel guy. Because I was saying back in the 90s when they was trying to tell me Yakub was history, I was like, yo, man, that's allegory. We can't say the Christians spooked out and then embrace you know what I mean, the pseudo-isms ourselves. So when y'all came out on YouTube, y'all was like, damn, I finally got a tribe. I gotta, you know what I mean? I ain't gotta always be arguing with cats about like basic shit. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to get on here and say that a lot of times we gotta put this history in perspective, man. And we gotta just try to understand why they did what they did, the stuff that they had to deal with to come up with the conclusions that they did. And I guess the one question I have is UNESCO. We got this dude in the chat, this so-called native Egyptian in the chat. He always come almost every chat. He come in talking about Dr. Diop and UNESCO. What exactly was the things that Dr. Diop got wrong, and what did he get right from your perspective? Because I've read African Origins of Civilization, you know what I mean? And I know how he tied Egypt culturally through linguistics to West Africa and Central Africa. Like, I understand that. And he kind of proved that Egypt was an African culture because the cultural affinity was to the guys from the Sudan and Nubians, and from Central and Western Africa. So could you touch on that?
Yeah, he got that part right, as far as connecting them to all of Africa and not to Asia. So he definitely got that part right. Where the mess up was, the overextending was that social construct, right? With the black Egyptians and all that.
Right.
That's the piece that wasn't accepted. I don't think the Wolof aspect was accepted. They tried to throw in the Negro Egyptian, that definitely got kicked out. And they tried to say that Egypt meant black people, that got stomped out.
Right.
And that's right there for us to read. But the most important thing that no group ever talks about, right? And it's amazing to me, and they always fuck this part up. This is the central part. What they really brought was the interdisciplinary studies. Go back, we did a show on the pseudo killers. I'm thinking it was maybe 2 weeks ago, right? And I brought up the UNESCO thing, and I read it, and me and Brendan, we read it, and we showed where it was. So it was the interdisciplinary thing that really allowed us to kind of move forward in this process of talking about Africa. But he definitely tied Egypt to the rest of Africa. Now you can read the studies in Harvard and Yale, right? They'll say it. They'll tell you that Africa, the kingship and stuff like that, is best explained in its African context. So like this,
right?
And this is, so Diop was ahead of their time, right? With the other Europeans, you had. Hold on, right here. Oh man, yeah. shit, this ain't the one I need, man. I got one. It's called Egypt in its African context, right? One of the elements, right? Ethnic identity, land of the pharaohs, ancient Egypt in context. So this is one of them. Y'all can get this series, and they got a whole thing talking about Egypt in its African context. So that's the Brooklyn Museum. That whole display they had was talking about Egypt in its African context, right? It's homegrown, deep roots in Africa. You know, for so long, they was always trying to explain Egypt from Asia standpoint.
Right.
And they couldn't get a real beat on it, right? They could only deal with the things that came into Egypt from outside of Africa, right? There are plenty of items that came in from outside of Africa, right? But it wasn't the foundation of what made Egypt. And the conversation I had listened to earlier, listening to Sarnetta's conversation, right? What was wild to me was they left out that the foundation and what was actually a Mediterranean culture was really African culture and Asian culture came together. Because before that point, there wasn't nobody in the fucking Mediterranean of worth. Meaning there was nobody reading and writing in the Mediterranean before Egypt got there, right? Before Asia got there. So fundamentally speaking, Mediterranean culture is African culture blended with Asian culture. And Europeans co-opted that, right? But watch this. But out of that culture give rise to what? Greece, Rome, and all of that.
Right. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And the European culture today. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And long periods of time stretches, the math and all that, the science and stuff, that's really what it was. So Dr. Benham, they had a good inkling of what it was. And he tried to talk about that in his work, right? But he didn't have the nuance and shit that we got, right? But John Clark always said, read the work with Egypt, rule the West. You always hear him saying it through different books and lectures, how wasn't no goddamn body in the Mediterranean, yo. And we all missed that, and we called him stupid for it. And now, right, the field, right, talks about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's you can read the Brooklyn Museum. So for me, since I read John Henry Clark and all those works, I know where they went wrong at, right? I know what sources is outdated, right? And it's just good to hear academia just say they Africans, man.
Right, exactly.
Like, because that wasn't the case, bro.
Right. And for all of those people that try to separate North Africa from the rest of Africa strictly based on hair texture and skin color, I went to the Pseudo Killers Discord. I posted 2 papers. One is regarding the light-skinned South Africans. And it goes into the detail and the science of how their skin got lighter than their neighbors. And the second one was like the stuff you already built on race being a social construct. And I bring that up to say, there is this tendency to try to separate North Africans from the rest of Africa like they're different people based off of phenotype. And I just wanted to show that, like you said, Africa is the most diverse continent on the planet, and you can't separate that. Just because someone has lighter skin doesn't mean that they aren't culturally African. And really, that's what I wanted to get off. I wanted to let everybody know about the 2 papers that I posted in the general Discord on Pseudo Killers, so they could check out them 2 papers. So when all these cats that come up and try to do that separation, North Africa, South Africa, and all of that bullshit, we could just shoot that shit down with the sources, because they there now.
Yeah, and no doubt people migrated back and forth in Africa and mixed with them.
Right, definitely.
Definitely a big deal.
And so did the Asiatics. We can't debate that. We know that. But the fact is, it's an African culture. And that's what really we go by. We go by the culture. We go by the language. We go by the customs, by the tools, by the, like back in them days, the pottery, the art. That's what we go by, the architects, things of that nature. That's what makes people the same or similar. It's not phenotype.
No, that's real. That's real. Right.
All right, bro. So I'm gonna shut it down. I'm gonna
appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Peace, Almighty.
All right, peace, man. yeah, so man, make sure y'all support the website, man. Get to know religion. That's too strong for you. I got a group of hoodies coming out, man. Just strictly science, right? Y'all feel free to wear that out to your kids' game without getting beat up. You know what I'm saying? Like science versus pseudoscience. This is a good one right here. Science versus pseudoscience. That's a good one. All right. That's a good one. Science versus pseudoscience. Yep, make sure you get that hoodie, man. That's a good one right there, man. But yeah, man, I'm drop that link one more time. Right? Hey, Chef, do you want to say something or you just chilling? You about to fall asleep. Chef be getting the motherfucker falling asleep, boy. Crazy. Nigga fell asleep already. You need to stop that. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get over and make your chair real quick there. Drop that link, man. Yo, so y'all ain't got no more questions, man. I think this was a pretty bright show there. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. The 80,000, man. I ain't even look. Yeah, Chef. Yeah, you stupid. Chef, stupid. Yeah, I like that though, Chef. Let me look up what let me see. I'm gonna put this back in here, right? Any more questions? But watch this. I want to look up Afrocentric. Let's see. Okay. And you're gonna see how they misplaced that shit. Watch this. Hold on. Hey, you know how people do. They use it as a slur. Hold on. Damn it. John Jackson. Ledger. Hold on. All right, we're gonna look this up. Okay. Yeah, the next show we're gonna get into the Harlem history joint. Right? So I'm gonna close with this. Come on, man. I'm gonna close with this right here. Afrocentrism. So we got it right here. It says Afrocentrism. Okay. See what this is. Now, Dr. Ben never considered himself that, nor did John Henry Clark. But it's right here. And nor have I never considered myself this. But let's actually see what it is. It says Afrocentrism is an approach to the study of the world history that focuses on the history of people of recent African descent, Here means at least 2,000 years opposed to the Stone Age, for example. 70,000 years, recent, okay. It is, in some respects, a response to Eurocentric. It's a worldview is centered on Western civilization and biased view that favored it over non-Western civilizations. The exact scope of Eurocentrism varies from entire Western world to just the continent of Europe, or even more narrowly to the Western Europe. Okay, so ain't nothing wrong with that, right? It is, in some respects, a response to Eurocentric attitudes about African people and their history and contribution. It seeks to counter what it sees as mistakes and ideas perpetuated by racist philosophical underpinnings of the Western academic disciplines as they developed during and since Europe's early Renaissance, as justifying rationales for the enslavement of other people in order to enable more accurate accounts of not only African, but all peoples contributed to world history. Afrocentricity deals primarily with self-determination and African agency, as that word again, right? And in a pan-African point of view for study, culture, philosophy, and history. Yeah, Pan-African movement failed us during the pandemic, just for the record. All that failed us. Afrocentrism is a scholarly movement that seeks to conduct research and education on global history subjects from the perspective of historical African people and polities. It says it takes a critical stance on Eurocentric assumptions and myths about world history in order to pursue methodological studies of the latter. It says some of its critics of the movement believe that it is often denies or minimizes European, Near Eastern, and Asian cultural influences while exaggerating certain aspects of historical African civilizations that independently accomplish a significant level of cultural and technical development. Let's read this again. Some of the critics of the movement believe that it is often denies or minimizes European, Near Eastern, and Asian cultural influences while exaggerating certain aspects of historical and African civilizations that independently accomplish a significant level of cultural and technical development. It say, in general, Afrocentrism is usually manifested in a focus on the history of Africa and its role in contemporary African-American culture, among others. It says, what is today broadly called Afrocentrism evolved out of the work of African-American intellectuals in the late 19th and early 10th centuries, but flowered into a modern form due to the activism of African-American intellectuals in the USA civil rights movement and in the development of African-American studies programs and universities. However, following the development of universities in African colonies in 1950s, African scholars became a major contributor to the African historiography. A notable pioneer is Professor Keith Dock, who became a chairman of the Committee of African Studies at Harvard. See, this is shit y'all don't know. In the 1970s, in strict terms, Afrocentrism as a distinct historiography reached its peak in the 1980s and 90s, said a citation needed, right? Today, it is primarily associated with Shigant Diop, John Henry Clark, Ivan Van Serta, Malif, Ashanti, Ashanti, however, describes his theories as Afrocentricity. Y'all go read that. Here, read that article. Just get a beat on what that is. Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. We ain't gonna knock that like that. But I'm saying I never consider myself that though.
So they the part of the critics.
Yeah, oh yeah. Here you go, right there. You want to read this? Here you go. This is a good one. It's a proponents of Afrocentrism supports the claim that the contributions of various Black African people have been downplayed or discredited as part of the legacy of colonialism and slavery. Hold on. And pathology of writing African out of history. Major critics of Afrocentrism includes Mary Lethowich, who dismissed it as pseudo-history. It says reactive and which is abstainingly therapeutic. Others such as Kwame Anthony, what the hell is that? Anthony Appiah believe that Afrocentrism defeats its purpose of dismantling unpopular studies of the world history by seeking to replace Eurocentricity with an equally ethnocentric and hierarchical curriculum and negatively essentializing European culture and people of Europe descent. Blackface, this is good. Clarence E. Walker claims it to be Eurocentrism in blackface. There you have it. Good to hear the whole thing. Yeah, but Shorty right here, wild though. Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Yeah, Legend was wild. But that shit helped them make her popular though. That's for damn sure. It put her ass on the map. Say what you want to say. What's up, James? What's up with you? Talk to me. What's your question, man? Before we get out of
Everything good, man. Everything good. Good show tonight. Good. It's a rebuttal, and it's very, very eloquent and on point. And I like how you finished up right here, man. And it leads me to my question. Dealing with the Afrocentrism critical analysis of us. And now it's debunked and exposed as, Eurocentrism in disguise. Isn't the preeminent Eurocentrism the Bible? What's your opinion on that?
Is the what? Is the pre?
Well, I asked, is it the Bible? Because I hear scholars say that like King James, he came about with what is it called? He came about with something in 1618, which is called the African Company, right? And it's so coincidental that in 1611 he authorized the King James Version, and then suddenly in 1618, you got a company going into Africa, right? And my point is, it looks to me like the Bible is the height and the catalyst for Eurocentrism. That's why I asked your opinion.
Yeah, the promotion of the Christianity and all that is all part of the thing. When you put your culture on somebody else, that's all part of the thing. And yeah, that's part of it, man. I don't know if the Bible, but just the pure arrogance, you know what I'm saying, and the display of that. Yeah, that's kind of, but I wouldn't necessarily say it, but yeah, the whole Christian thing, colonization, I would say colonization was one of the tools of colonization, Christianity. That's one of the tools of it. Yeah, so I would say that. Interesting, bro.
Now, one other question while you're here, man, because it brings me to what I was talking about earlier this week. And it was regarding Chief X's conversation tonight. But when Ngozi chimed in, I hear some things with Ngozi, and I wanted to hear your opinion. I know he's part of the conscious community, and you guys go way back, but I'm hearing some animosity towards nappy hair, big lips, and flat nose, man. I'm feeling that, And you don't see nothing like that. Am I imagining that? Because when this nigga think he Amazigh and shit, he think his nose is narrow. That nigga think he's something else and shit.
Nah, I don't think that. I ain't
you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Getting the vibe, man.
Nah, man, I'm gonna defend that man, yo.
All right.
I ain't never known him to worry about that.
Maybe
you gotta take my word for it. I ain't never known.
I'll take your word for it, because I look at things from a big picture, and I know he's on a microscopic view of these things that I don't really get involved with, the those that biometric stuff, but I just feel a little thing, because I saw Chief X even trying to feel him out. I know they know each other, but I'm saying he's trying to feel out the crowd, because somehow he knows he coincides with Ngozi, right?
Nah, he actually tries to play the little game where you say you agree. He'll do this. He'll take something that Ngozi will say, yeah, I agree. But his whole stance is counter to what Ngozi is saying, though.
Right. And Ngozi came, and credit to him, he did come out and say something similar to what Nepal was observing. It didn't come from him himself. He kind of corroborated Nepal. But now, Chief X is trying to piggyback on that, in his favor.
Well, maybe at the end of the day, he'll end up agreeing with us, huh?
You
ain't gonna get around science. No matter how you try to play the game, you're getting around that.
Now he's trying hard, because he tried to separate And I'm glad he's saying us, but he's trying to separate us from North Africa so badly that he put a map on there which with a gray area next to the Mediterranean, and every country that borderline that gray area was North African. It was crazy. I said, man, look what he's trying to twist.
Well, I mean, you should go over there and have a conversation with him, man. I ain't talking to him.
No, I ain't. I think I had one conversation on Smash Channel, and I asked him one question. And it's a question that people, if you're studying and your counter narrative is regarding a popular conversation, the least you can know is something about that civilization. And I asked him, do you know who the Typhonians are? And this brother says, no, I have no idea. And I said, oh, thank you. That's it. I ain't had nothing else for him. I ain't got nothing for Chief X. Chief X ain't got nothing for me. Chief X only got shit to deceive the people who want to gravitate to something other than black.
Yeah, but he got his, but I don't know. He got his right to his opinion, man. Like I had to realize, I'm too old to be arguing people's opinions, man. It just kind of takes too much out of me, man. I'm not willing to do that anymore, man. So, you know what I'm saying? So this show right here is actually a precursor to when I'm bringing all sources to support what I was talking about, just how hard ideas, like most people think Darwin came up with his idea and it was accepted. It wasn't. It took a while to get into it, right? And you talking into the 1900s, mid 1900s, and still today you got schools that have these stickers in their book. It's crazy. It's the craziest shit ever, yo. So there's that whole thing there, that whole thing that the Harlem History Club was actually promoting. This wasn't really readily available, man. Right now today, just like you got flat earthers, right? You got people who think that they come from the Bible. Right now, I mean, that's crazy. You just Google this shit and you be like, yo, why would you be saying that? So yeah, it's the whole thing is interesting, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's just that it's so akin to arguments like Kanye and Candace Owens, and it's the same kind of thing.
I wouldn't put it.
Me, it seems anti-black.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it right there. Kanye did apologize. I ain't getting to that. Look, man, I appreciate everybody come through, man. Support the store, Abjuwear, man. ABDJUWEAR.com. Support that, man. Like and support the Real Black Atheist show, man. Make sure y'all support the pseudo killers, man. Yo, we in here, we live with it, man. Make sure y'all go to the discourse, man. We had these cool conversations, man. And yeah, man, I'm retired with arguing people's opinions, man. Like I'm not doing that. It's a waste of my damn time. I got a book I'm in the middle of writing. I got so much shit I got to do. I got boys I'm raising, right, to men, daughters I'm raising, to women. You know what I'm saying? Time is valuable. I'm just wanting to set an example for the people, man. If you can, man, get some investments in some land, man. That's like one of the things that our ancestors, fought and died for, is to have land, man. Make sure y'all get some land. That's vital. Gotta get it, man. Get your credit score to the point where you can, get some land, get some property, get some investment, man. Like you're gonna have to, you gotta leave this next generation something, man. And I think that's very valuable. And get yourself insured, man, because you're everybody anyway out of this motherfucker. And you never know when it's gonna happen, yo. It just happened. You won't even know you're not here.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
You won't know.
That's right.
So yeah, man. Appreciate all that support, man. Had about 80,000 people in the building, man. I'm gonna get a regular day when I just be on here doing my thing, man. I'm not sure if we're going. Hey, Chef, where you at? No, he's just not saying nothing. Anyway, man, with all that, man, appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate everybody coming through, man. Look, with that, man, Real Black